Hey everybody, Matt Johnson here. This is the latest episode of Real Estate Uncensored, and you'll be happy to know that just before we went on the air, Greg completely threw me off by referring to me as Homeboy, and I'm not really sure why. Joining me, as always, in the co-pilot seat, the junior grandmaster himself, as long as we're using nicknames, is Greg McDaniel.
What is
Greg,
up? What is up, my homeboy? I don't know why I'm on a kick for saying that. I think it's me. It's Eileen who's kind of rubbing off on me, my team manager. She's always like, when she gets irritated at something, she's like, "All right, homeboy, you gotta, cut it out." And so I think listening to her, it's rubbing off on me. So,
It makes
anyways,
total sense. She does come off very urban, very street. I can.
she, yeah, she grew up in the hard streets of, Santa Cruz. Don't mess
That's
with
right.
me. I'll beat you over there with a surfboard.
All right, and for anybody watching the replay who's still with us, thank you. But do yourself a favor and subscribe on YouTube. We're seeing our subscribers grow there, which is fantastic. But it's not just about us, it's about yourself. So if you subscribe on YouTube, that tells YouTube not only do you want to see our videos, which is fantastic, and we would love for you to see them all, but it also tells YouTube that you just like real estate coaching content and you want to grow your real estate business. So they'll start serving up videos from other guys like Matthew Ferry and Mike Ferry and a lot of the other really good coaches that are out there. So do yourself a favor, subscribe on YouTube. If you prefer the audio version, subscribe on iTunes. Feel free to leave us a rating there. And then Stitcher if you're on an Android device, Stitcher for the audio versions of the podcast. So anyway, with that said, moving on. We want to start off with answering a question from the Facebook group, Lead Gen Scripts and Objections. This is our buddy Aaron Wittenstein's group. If you're not already a part of that, head on over to facebook.com/group/gotobjections. And you can check out the Facebook. It's growing 13,000 plus as of last count. And so we want to answer a couple questions that people posted up on the forum. So, Greg, I'm going to throw this out to you. You have no idea what I'm about to throw out.
Just the way I like it.
That's right. So Dan Mitchin writes, door knocking expireds, and someone says, quote, "What do you think my house is worth, or what are homes selling for in this area?" End quote. So my goal is to door knock 10 expires a week, but there aren't enough in my area to hit my goal, so I'm going into other areas. I want to be able to come back for a second time and give my listing presentation and present comps, but I'm not sure what I should tell them at their doorstep. And I know this is right in your wheelhouse, Greg.
Okay, so one of the first things that I would do if I was door knocking expireds, and let's say Matt, you're the door, the homeowner, and you say, "Well, Greg, it's very interesting. What do you think my home is worth?" Now, one, you guys need to be doing some prep prior to going out. Check a look at your MLS. Take a look at what the markets are doing around you. For a quick reference, go to homesnap.com. You can take a look at what some of the medium values are selling for. You can also go to Zillow to get a quick and dirty view of what's going on in the marketplace as well. But one of your scripts that you would use right at that front door would be, "Hey, Matt, you know what? That's exactly why I'm coming by." And the script is exactly that. No matter if they tell you to go kick rocks, or I want to sell, or I want to buy, or I want to know my value, or whatever it is, your answer is, "You know what, Matt? That's exactly why I'm coming by. I want to talk to you about that specifically, but I haven't had an opportunity to take a look at your home. Is there a time that I can schedule maybe to come back and I can briefly walk through your home so I can get an understanding of what kind of upgrades you folks have done, kind of the layout and flow of the home, take a look at how everything's orientated, so then I can go back, take a look at my comps, I can come back with a real value." Because if I was just to shoot off the cuff and I was to give you a value right now, that would be the biggest detriment I could do to you, because I don't know what you guys have done. I don't know if you haven't updated it since 1973, or you just got done with a $300,000 remodel. And then that preps them. Then you take you take your script, your notepad that you're with, and you say, "So what's your best email?" And you look down and you expect to get it to them, or get their phone number, get a time. So Matt, are you and your wife going to be here, or is it just you? Who's the decision maker? Who should I meet with? Who should I contact?
No, definitely me and my wife.
Okay, well, great. What time does your wife get home from work? I can come back later this evening, or Thursday afternoon. And really, what's best for you guys? So,
Well, you know the traffic around here, so probably 6 o'clock.
okay, 6 o'clock actually works really well. You're actually on my way home. I'll come on by. It'll be super. I won't be intrusive. It'll take about 15 minutes, give or take, and I'll be out of your hair. And then I'll come back. I can give you a time, and we'll meet up again, and I'll give you a report on what the value of your home is and what it can do today. Also, what I can do is go back and look through my buyers that I'm currently working with, and I'll be able to identify a few of them that might be good buyers for your property if you think that could be a value. So what you do there is you do two things of value for the homeowner. One, you're going to give them a true value. Two, you're setting up a second interview, which is going to build rapport. And third, you're going to do something that another agent isn't doing. You're actually going to go bring them potential buyers. Now, you're never going to use the last names of the buyers, but you would say, well, Matt and Rebecca, Greg and Stephanie, Phil and, Becky, these guys are looking for 3-bed, 2 baths here in the neighborhoods. These are their price points. These are, they have 2 kids, 1 kid, no kids, a dog, who cares? But, they're looking for homes like this in your neighborhood. Would there be an opportunity I can maybe get one of them or all of them in to view your home prior to going on to the market? It would save you all the hassle of, putting a yard sign up, having to keep the home clean, living in a fishbowl, having people tromp through your property, being evicted out of your home every Sunday for 3 hours. Would that be something of interest for you if I was able to get a fair market value for your home?
Yeah, definitely.
Fantastic. Well, let me do this. Let me go back and talk to my clients. I'll be in touch with you. Now, you said your cell is the best number. Is that right, Matt?
Yep, definitely.
Okay, good. Then I'll call you on your cell and we'll get this stuff set up.
Cool. Sounds great.
Then you take it from there, and that's basically how hard it is, guys. Remember, you never go out there trying to sell something. You go out there trying to bring value to people. I've said it 100 times on all the episodes. I always push value, always push content, and the reason why is that nobody wants to be sold. Everybody wants to buy. I know it's cliche, but it's the truth. I went out on a CMA yesterday. I've been following up with this guy, older gentleman. He's an old salty dog. I love this guy. He's the ex-police chief of Pleasant Hill, which is right around the corner from me here. And he walked me through the house. He was absolutely no bullshit. I mean, there was no fluff with this man. It was, this is the family room. This is the living room. This is my second living room. This is my backyard. These are my 2 masters. This is my daughter. She sucks. This is that. Which actually, he said that, by the way. We're sitting in the garage, and he's like, so you see all the shit sitting here in my garage? And he's sitting back with his arms crossed, just ticked off. And he goes, it's because of that what just walked past me. And I'm like, you mean your daughter? He's like, yep. But I was able to set up the meeting, and I'm coming back to him because I brought value to him like that. And so I would highly recommend it, guys. And with all of those, no matter what kind of lead prospecting now or in the future, it's all about the follow-up. It's all about being persistent and consistent. It's all about never stopping until they tell you either to kick rocks or they buy or they sell. That's it. One of the two. 80% of your sales are done between the 5th and the 12th contact. Never forget that. You're not annoying them if you keep coming back. You're not annoying them if you're persistent. I have 3 listings coming up, guys, that I've been able to procure in the last week. Actually, it's a week from today, last Friday, doing that exact process. And we'll get into that a little bit later. It's about our 30-day of high intensity prospecting program beta system that we're putting out. So, yeah.
Yeah, we've got a lot of cool stuff to cover today. That was actually a good segue because we're going to break the prospecting that we talked about in today's episode down into 3 segments. So we're going to talk about what gets you now business, what gets you business 6 to 12 months from now, and then a year to 5 years out. So we've got it broken down that way. We're going to talk about what fits into those buckets and give you some tips on how to do those at a high level. But Greg, you're right. I mean, the follow-up, I was just talking to an agent about this. She was a team leader. This is like a couple weeks ago at an event. And she said, we've got, 4 or 5 agents, and, what we tell them is you just, you keep following up until they either tell you to get, buy or sell or get the hell out of here, or whatever the phrase is. The problem is you can say that until you're blue in the face, but the agents aren't going to do it if they're not feeling like they're bringing value. And I think that's the key, is you got to figure out how to bring value on every call. Otherwise, an agent's not going to pick up the phone, because nobody wants to pick up the phone and feel like they're sucking time away from somebody else. You have to feel like you're bringing value, and you have to find ways to do that.
Absolutely, but here's how hard it is to bring value, Matt. Go to Housing Wire, go to DS News, MReport, all these are all .com things, guys. They all do market analysis of what the top trending things are in the real estate industry, that you can get little snippets, little bite-sized things. Go to Inman News, you guys. Read what Inman's putting out. There is a plethora of information. Go to realtytimes.com. Start reading about some tips and tricks on how to sell your home or help to buy things, within the time frame. Like we just got into October, right? So what's a good way to sell your home in October? Is it a good time to sell in the holidays or not? How would you sell a home in the holiday season? Come up with value information like that. People love to hear about what's selling in the area, but they also want to know something pertinent about their lives. So bring them something that's pertinent about their lives.
Actually, yeah, it's that's interesting because it's not that hard, but you do have to put some mental thought and maybe go to a couple of websites and pull something off. I think Patrick Lillian mentioned that he would pull, if he finds something of value online, some article or whatever, sometimes he'll even print it off and mail it off to either friends or prospects, past clients, that sort of thing, just to keep in touch with them in different kinds of ways, which is a really great tip.
Yeah.
So let's get into it. So let's start with the now business. So first of all, let's talk about the high intensity prospecting, and tell me about the prospecting that you're doing, like what types of prospecting you're doing right now that fits into that bucket that's going to bring you now business, and especially the stuff that's leading right up to the listings that you're taking here within the next week or so.
Okay, so what we're doing right now, and if you guys want to learn more about it, please look into this. It's on our site, but or you can just email me. We'll give you that address later. But I am doing up to 300 calls a day outbound using my Mojo selling solutions, and I'm calling around just solds. But I'm not. I found something very interesting, Matt, and I found the fact that homeowners are kind of getting inundated with the, hey, home just sold around your corner. You're thinking about selling. They're like, no, go kick rocks. I freaking hate you. That's fine. I actually got one of those calls yesterday. She was very pissed. But if you go in and you bring value, something secret, something cool, something different, like, hey, Matt, I got 4 investment buyers that are willing to pay cash, close in 10 days. They're looking to buy investment properties. Also, I have, this type of buyer, that type of buyer, this type of buyer. You come in with that added part that all the sellers want. So a lot of folks, like I said in the pre-log here, they don't want to, and in the script, they don't want to go through the traditional channels if they can get a fair market value for their home now. Because the reality of it is, if you can help a seller go from A to B without the pain of the traditional sales funnel, you're bringing value to them. Every time I do these calls, and I'm not lying to you guys, and I can show you my numbers, every time I do this, I get people calling me back on, hey, I want to talk to you about potentially selling. You mentioned you have buyers. I would like to talk to you about this. I mean, yesterday, besides my irate individual that called me back and you thought I was a spawn of Satan, I found another lady that has got a ton and she's another agent. So this can work with other agents when they call you back, that has a ton of investment properties coming on the market. Her current investors can't handle the volume she has, so she's going to start funneling them over to me so I can fill my investors with projects around here in the Bay Area. Now, a lot of agents would say, well, how's that valuable? Well, how is it not valuable? You just got an investor or a client, something that's not on the market. Even though you have to work with another agent, who cares? You're still going to make your commission. You can leverage all the connections that you have. You just need to know what filter to see them through. So what if I get a call, and I've had this in the past, like they call me back and say, hey, look, Greg, it's great to talk to you. How'd you get my number? And I explained to them Mojo, and they say, and as long as you're trying to bring value and just kind to them and not trying to close them. I had a lady tell me last Monday, she called me and she said, Greg, how'd you get my number? And I talked to her, and long story short, she said near the end of the conversation, well, it's funny, Greg, that it's very serendipitous of your timing, because I have a friend of mine that just sold her home in Ruby Hills. And everyone who doesn't know Ruby Hills, it's like $3 to $7 to $10 million homes, or it's like very exclusive country club down in Pleasanton. She just sold her home there, and she's looking to buy another property. I said, very interesting, where? So we started a conversation on that side. And I thought that conversation was done. Then she says to me, Greg, well, since we're on this topic, we're actually putting our home on the market, and we're here in San Ramon. I said, okay, do you have an agent? Yes, I do. But my mind started rolling, and I'm like, well, what about my buyers? And it actually fits one of my buyers, Brian and Julie. I'm going to actually reach out to this other agent, Jessica, and I'm going to talk to Jess, and I'm going to say, hey, look, I have buyers for you. When can I get them in? So that's how you can bring now business. This is happening now, but you have to ask the questions. Don't be afraid when they say, no, I'm not thinking about buying or selling. Ask the question. Oh, that's fine. That's great. Who do you know that I should know that might be thinking of doing something? Or who do you know that tried to sell their home in the past and it didn't work out for them? Who should I be speaking with that who can I help? And that gets the cogs moving up between the old ears here, and people are like, oh, my next door neighbor's cousin, when they were over for a barbecue, said that they were thinking about making a move. All of a sudden, they made the connection. That's the now business. Now ask for the business. That's the next part most agents don't do. Like, that's great. They're going to move. Well, thanks for the info. Talk to you later. Ah, shit. I forgot to ask who they were. So don't be afraid to ask for the business, because you'll get it. You will get it. But also the second part of this whole prospecting system that we're beta testing is you have to go out and you have to call 5 past clients, contacts, leads, suspects, sphere of influence, anything, right? Go back to your Zillow accounts, Truly accounts. Go back to any account where you have people that are older leads or newer leads, and just reach out and talk to them. I reached out to one of my ladies. Her name is Nagesh in Walnut Creek. She is a seller. She's a buyer, and then her father is an investment buyer, right? So I just reached out to her and started talking to her more, and she reached back to me very quickly. I didn't ask her about herself. I asked her about her father. I'm like, hey, Nagesh, is your father still looking for properties? I have one in Pittsburgh that's not on the market. The guy is a renter and it needs work, but he's willing to sell it. Would your father be interested? Her response was, absolutely, Greg. My dad has 25 homes out there. I'm sure he'd take one more. Are you kidding me?
Nice.
That's now business, guys. And that's just one vein of it. I mean, I think one of our next ones, I think it's open houses, right, Matt?
Yep.
Open houses, guys. Again, this is in our prospecting program. Yes, we've talked about it before, but I'm going to hammer it in again. If you guys can't find an open house through your brokerage, or if you can't find one, just working with your friends here in the marketplace, go to Zillow. Go to Make Me Move button. Go to the FSBO button. Go to these buttons. Click on them. Say, hi, Bob and Sue. You're 123 Main Street. I'm an agent. I'm not here to list your home. I'm here to ask you if I can help you sell your home, and I want to hold an open house for you. Call all of those people, guys. And hey, a quick shout out to Ryan out in North Carolina. Hey, you're awesome. I gave a shout out to her on one of our mini hangouts this week. But you know what she did, guys? She and I got on the call, and we talked for a few minutes. She took action, and she now has called all of her FSBOs, and she has a listing appointment set up, and she has open houses based on what I just told you. So why wouldn't it work for you?
Yeah, that's awesome. Congratulations, Ryan. That's fantastic.
Oh, yep. She says thank you, Matt.
You got her on the other ear. I got Okay. So let's talk about, there's one thing I wanted to bring up before we move on from the now business, which is so I've heard this from some of the other top agents and team leaders, is going back into your older leads, especially internet leads that are between 6 and 9 months. This is like a gold mine. I've heard people doing this with both buyer leads and even expired leads, going back and searching 6-month-old expires, and then Greg, you mentioned 6-month-old like FSBOs, or people that came on to like a Zillow's Make Me Move feature about 6 months ago or something. So these are people that they may have come into either your lead generation system at some point in the past, or maybe you can borrow them or work out a deal with another agent to send them a referral fee, and maybe they came into another agent's lead generation system. But it's going to take them a while. Like a lot of people are tire kickers up until the point when they decide to make a move. If you start calling people that are about 6 months old, they're ready to make a decision. Some of them are out shopping right now. Some of them might have just bought a house and you might have missed them because you weren't keeping in touch with them the whole time. But that's one thing I wanted to throw out there for now business is internet leads, buyer or seller or expireds that are around 6 to 9 months old. I know people that are having some really good success with that type of like time frame. And then Greg, you wanted to talk about videos.
Yeah. But hold on. We got to back up here. I just came to me.
You're taking notes?
Of course I'm taking notes. What do you think? I'm not just looking down at my right hand going, you're so pretty, right hand. No, yeah. No, seriously, guys, no messing around here. This just came to me a second ago. So you're new in the business, you're getting back into the business, you don't have leads. You guys, I don't have a budget. I haven't been doing this for a while, or just got into the industry. Go befriend a top or medium agent that's in your company and say, look, do you need help following up some of your past clients or past leads? Every one of us has a bunch of old leads, right? Go in and offer to do a split, whatever's going to make sense for you to call through their past leads. Now, that's only going to help them. So if I'm new and Matt's the veteran, I would go up to Matt and say, hey, Matt, can I take you out for a cup of coffee? Matt goes, okay, sure, man, I'll take you out. What's on your mind? I say, Matt, I want to help you make more money. Okay, well, how are you going to do that? Matt, I would like to have opportunity to work on your team at a part-time basis, and I would like to have to call through your past leads and see if I can get anything that maybe you don't have the time to follow up with. I'd be happy to be the bird dog for you. And then what I'm going to ask is that we split the commission on anything I find in your database. And then I would like the opportunity to hold the open houses so I could pick up some additional buyers from those leads. Would that be okay with you? Now, right there, guys, is something that costs you $0, maybe $1.50, or if you go super big, $3.99 for like a Frappuccino latte with foam swirl to the left with, you know, caramel drizzles on top. Who knows? But if you just ask them to help them build business, Matt is dying over here.
I'm picturing Greg in a coffee shop with a giant latte with like whipped cream on top and little nutmeg sprinkles on top, just sipping away.
Like this, like
yeah, exactly.
So I wanted to see if you'd be willing to help me grow my business.
Yeah, you want to make sure you slurp a lot while you're doing that, just for the extra creepy factor.
So, guys, another opportunity for you, if you guys are using Mojo or another system called RedX. In Mojo, you can buy expired FSBOs. These are 6 to 12 months back, and you can have the access to them right there. They're filtered, they're vetted, so you can have the opportunity to call them. A lot of the people don't call them because they're old dead wood. They're in the past. They're not the new shiny object. But in reality, these past leads, guys, are like a fine wine. They have aged. They've been watching the market. They've seen their appreciation. They may or may not have gotten over what they are dealing with. Maybe someone is getting a job transfer, maybe, and it came through. Maybe they're getting a divorce and it's getting finalized. Maybe they were pregnant, now they have had the kid, and they're like, oh crap, I really got to get out of this house now. Whatever it is, maybe those people have come full circle and they're ready to be re-engaged. Yeah. Another opportunity is go to RedX, guys. Talk to RedX. They're a great group of guys. They're up here in Northern Cal. They have a phenomenal system that if you export all the data out of your MLS, like actives, pendings, solds, expireds, withdrawals, the whole 9 yards, from set date to set date, and go back maybe 3 to 6 months and go back to the beginning of the year. So right now, what I would do, I would go September back to January, download, export out. Now there is a fee for this, but their system will cough out everything that is legitimately expired. Now, you run a touch CMA on them, which should be for you. It's a minimal cost for you guys to get this program. Run a touch CMA on each one of these guys. It's a nice little, beautiful little packet you're going to put together. You're going to print it out in the PDF form, bind it. You're going to knock on their front door until they answer. All right, and then you're going to give it to them. Say, hey, Matt and Julie, I understand that you guys were expired. You guys tried to sell your home. I think it was back in February of this year, and I don't know if you're thinking about selling, but I took the liberty of doing a courtesy report for you on what the value of your home has appreciated. And I wanted to see if you'd be interested in talking again about maybe selling your home. This, guys, is high touch stuff using the high tech methods, but it's all about building that relationship. And these are vehicles that nobody looks at. Everybody looks at postcards. Well,
they want the easy button.
They want the easy, well, shit, man, I want the easy button. But as you and I do, we try to come up with the easy button every single day that we can so we can pass it down to folks. But these are things you can do right now. If Ryan can do it, she's 27, guys. She's in the business in a small town. If she can do it, you can do it in these bigger metropolis areas, especially if you're located in the Bay Area. You will not have a problem coming up with leads. Yeah, so sure. Those are a couple, well, there you go.
All right, so let's. There's two things I wanted you to hit on because there was a cool technology thing, like a tech tip that you had for how to promote open houses on Facebook.
Yes.
Yeah,
I love this. I love this. Okay, what is that site called, Matt? It's called Canva, right? Yeah, Canva. CANVA guys.com. It's a free site. You can go on there and get cover photos for your Facebook pages for free. Pre-sized, pre-everything. You can get them and you can put them onto your Facebook page, like, or you can make them very, very easily on that. And you can promote upcoming events, upcoming open houses, buyer needs, market reports. But then what they do is you would put a little button on there and it would say, click here. And they would just click your cover page. And now it's not going to go to a new link or anything. It's just going to open up. And so they're going to have the cover page here. And off to, this is going to be the right-hand side for, what I'm showing you. On the right-hand side, it's going to have a little description of what that cover page was with a link to what the event is. So guys, you can create all kinds of free things to promote things via your Facebook page right now. Also, I can't hold myself back, Matt. I have to tell them about this. And I didn't tell you, so here you go, buddy.
Oh, this is new to me too. Great.
This is new to you. Did you guys know that on Facebook, you can, and I'm looking at my phone right now so I can accurately tell you this so I don't look like a complete fool. When you get into your Facebook, of course it's not going to work when I need you to, on your Facebook thing, which is not working. Here it is. So here's my Facebook page, my Facebook on my mobile, right? Down here on the right-hand side is that little more button, right? You click on that more button. Biscuit face. Of course it doesn't work now.
You realize this is going to be the screenshot for this episode, is you staring strangely at your phone.
No, but okay, literally, we'll do a mini hangout on this when my technology is actually working. But the point of this is this: if you want to follow up with potential clients for free again, you can make lists in Facebook. And now you all know that you can upload stuff to Facebook, like Excel spreadsheets, past clients and stuff like that. But did you know you can put them in actual categories? So instead of looking at your public feed, you can actually go in and you can click on something that says feed. Now a feed is actually your groupings of friends. Now Facebook does this for you automatically, but you can make your own feed. So if you have clients, past clients, sphere of influence, or anything else, build a family, build close friends, build acquaintances, build past clients, build co-workers, right? Now everybody tries to stay up with their past clients, right? Postcards this, recipes that, how nice is this? Bullshit. Okay, nobody cares about the freaking pumpkin pie recipe you're sending them. Now, some people probably do, but what if Matt and Julie, I hadn't talked to them and I sold them a home, this time last year. What if they had a kid and I didn't know about it? But I'm in Safeway or I'm in Trader Joe's or at the bank. And I'm like, oh, I've got some time to kill. Hit feeds, hit them, scroll. Matt and Julie had a baby boy. His name's Philip, 7 pounds, 11 ounces. Oh, man. Bop, 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 bop. Man, congratulations. That's Rockstar. Sweetness, man. I got to come over and say hi. Guys, that's real-time follow-up. That's showing genuine interest in your clients. That's being relevant to them. That's you there, being a politician. Mwah, baby, I love you. And
Sorry, I just died again. But you're right. It's people want to do like automated email drip campaigns and stuff like that. And there's a place for that. There is a function, but some of that stuff, it's hard to top real, genuine, authentic follow-up.
Right, and this can also go back to Facebook and videos. So we're in the Facebook, we're doing the feeds. Let's say you're just crazy busy, right? And you just don't have time. You're going out of town, but you still want to say congratulations to Matt and Julie and Philip, their little baby, 11 ounce, 10 ounce baby, whatever I said it was. So what do? You take your camera here, shoot this way, and you shoot a congratulatory video to them and post it on their wall. Okay, actually, I just came up with that. That's actually freaking awesome. I'm going to do that. But I speak from experience. One of my clients did that. I called him up. I hadn't seen him in a year and a half. And I'm like, hey, man, what's going on? He's like, oh, not much, man. We love the house. Yeah, we just had another kid. And my dumbass goes, you did? Oh, hey, that's cool, man. Awesome. Sweet. Shit, I should have known that. I should have sent a cigar. I should have gone over and said hello, brought a bottle of wine, done something. Yeah. But that's real-time follow-up, and that's real business right now.
You need like a diaper of the month club. Just put all those people on there.
Actually, they have the amazingclubs.com where you can actually put people on different clubs. Yeah. I don't think they have diapers, but they have all kinds of other stuff.
I think Amazon bought a company that does nothing but ship diapers on a monthly club membership.
They ship diapers or ship diapers?
Shipping.
Diapers. Shipping. Oh, they send them.
Yeah, they send them. They send them to the mail. Okay, so we're about at the halfway point. We want to take a break for a second. We're going to talk about medium and long-term prospecting on the second half of this episode. So first, let's take a second, and we want to talk about, speaking of prospecting, which is number one, Greg, you're working with, on the back end to do it, like manage all of your follow-up, you're working with prime seller leads. So I want to take a second to talk about what you're doing with that.
Okay, yeah, and guys, we actually got 2 just killer sponsors, and we're going to talk about them right now who've come to us. I'm using prime seller leads, like Matt said. Yeah. These guys are stinking rock stars when it comes to follow up on their back end. Now, Matt and I did an interview with Matt over at prime seller leads, and I was going to quit their account that day after that interview. But after I heard and saw what they could do, I got on a call with the other Matt, not Matt that you can see here with me, and I showed me what it could do. I hired their system immediately. I bought the $299 Platinum program. It's like they do everything for me immediately. I started getting follow-up, from people because they have such well-built back-end follow-up call to action emails. Now, it's not just emails, guys. Okay. They have email follow-up. They have pre-recorded voicemail follow-up. They have video follow-up through BombBomb API that they've worked with. They have postcard follow-up and text message follow-up. Now, they put these in a specific order. It's kind of like the 8x8 and 33 touch program through Keller Williams and Gary Keller, but it's digital and it's automated. Okay. I have, I think, 970 leads in there. That I'm just throwing everything in there that we have. It's unreal. We listed a property directly because of this. Within 1 week of us implementing it, we're listing her home for $915,000, and we're buying her another home for $600 and change thousand, just because of this. Plus, I have a budget with them, and they go to pay-per-click and they go to Facebook and they pull down and I'm getting like 4 to 6 leads a day, buyers and sellers, and they tell me when they're going to be doing it so I can follow up with them. So that's one of our sponsors for the show, guys. If you want more information, contact me. Okay, I'll get you in touch with Matt over there. You guys can figure it out.
Yeah. So yours is Greg at McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. So that's the best way to get in touch with Greg, and he'll directly refer you over to Matt Scheid is his name, the Prime Seller Leads. So the cool thing about that is it's a great way to support the show. Keep it free. You know, we don't charge anything for the show. We'd love to keep doing it. And one of the ways we can do that is by having sponsors on the show. And so if you go through us and you go to Prime Seller Leads because we sent you there and kind of hooked up that connection, then they help support the show, which is really fantastic. So the second one.
We've negotiated no setup fee and your first month free.
Oh, so, nice. Now, even I didn't know that. Goodness, that's awesome.
It's a lot of secrets I hold today, Matt.
Yeah, no kidding. You're bringing all kinds, and we talk all the time. How is this possible? You've only a finite combination of words that you could express to me. I feel like that stuff should have come up already. But anyway, second thing is that your buddy Pierce, who actually works there at the same Jay Rockcliffe office that you have, has put together like the buyer lead generation program. Yeah. So Prime Seller Leads. Excellent for generating seller leads, especially off of Facebook and pay-per-click, and then doing all the follow-up. So Pierce has a program for buyer leads. So share that with just real quick.
So that system, guys, is called Equity, is the name of the company. Again, contact me directly. I'll get you in touch with Pierce. But guys, the collective we. They have, I always say we because I'm so used to talking with you and me. But what they have is super, super cool. They have different platforms, different price points. So they have, we're rolling out here in the Bay Area first, guys. So, take that with a grain of salt, but call me. I'll put you in contact with them. You guys go from there. But for $199 a month, you guys are going to get anywhere between 5 to 8 leads of buyers. You're going to get emails, phone numbers, and names. The quality on this, guys, is incredibly powerful. These people are put through a vetting process, so they legitimately have to put something in there that they want you to contact them on. Then there's higher programs and platforms where you get more bells and whistles that goes from $199, $399, $499, and $999. But there's a variety of array of different bells and whistles you get. But it's getting why do I keep saying our? They're getting their clients results within 30 days. So if you want buyers, you want sellers, man, contact them. Like Matt said, we're just trying to keep this show free thanks to these sponsors kicking in and helping us out.
Yeah. So with that, and obviously keep in touch with the show. Subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher, all that good stuff. So let's move into like medium and long-term prospecting. So on the medium side, let's go back to follow-up, right? So we talked a little bit about Facebook as far as like the cover photo. I want you to talk a little bit about what you do for video, like posting native videos right to Facebook, and a couple of the ways that you do that, because you get really good responses on your Facebook page for that stuff.
Right. So like you guys know, I've talked about this before. What I do is I take my camera, turn it sideways, and I just flip it around and I shoot videos in front of upcoming listings. The trick here is to talk about the home, talk about what the attributes are. Don't just say, hey, this is 123 Maple Street. It's coming on the market. See you Sunday. Really go in depth. Get excited. Throw some personality into these. But then the trick is to tag everybody that's applicable to that video. Tag yourself, tag your team, tag your brokerage, tag your lender, tag your home insurance guy, tag everybody, tag the sellers kids. The last video I did, I got over 1,000 views in 48 hours on that video. And that generated organic interest from other agents that have buyers, other sellers or buyers that have interest, and you can take that and monetize that over to your seller and go, hey, take this video, post it, and then send it out to your friends and family so they know what's going on. Maybe they know somebody that might want to buy this. It's free, it's easy. And I don't care if you don't feel that you look good in front of the camera. Everybody feels they look funny and sound worse. All right. It's not about you. It's about your seller, and it's about future people you can help.
Yeah.
Other things
It's
you can
also
do.
a great insight into how you actually look and sound when you're meeting with clients. They just a little side note from someone who you learn that the hard way as a musician, that what you think you sound and look like in your head is actually not the case, and the only way to know for sure is to record yourself.
So it's kind of like this. You think you look like this when you're going up to a house. Hi. But in reality, you're like this. Hey.
Yeah, it's just like that.
It's a good way to kind of gauge and improve yourselves, guys. All jesting aside, this is kind of...
For anybody listening to the audio version, Greg looked normal. He did absolutely nothing hilarious in any sort. Anyway, so going back to social media. So direct messages to past clients, fantastic. You can also do, you talked a little bit about the listing posts. What about buyer need videos?
Buyer need videos are incredibly powerful. You guys go into a neighborhood where you have buyer needs in, right? And walk through the neighborhoods and post, say, hey, look, guys, I'm in such and such neighborhood, kind of do the turn thing and kind of show them what's going on behind you so they can kind of get an idea of what's around you. And do some videos about the neighborhoods. I'm looking for Bob and Sue. They have 3 great kids. They have 2 dogs and a cat and a parrot. They're looking for a 4-bedroom with a bonus room. If anyone's thinking about selling, stop laughing, Matt. But it will show the neighborhood. So if someone's like, oh my God, it's my neighborhood, I'm thinking about it. But then you're going to tag the neighborhood, tag the city, tag the people, tag everybody. Tagging is a true thing here, guys, which is really important. Post it to your own Facebook page and then tag your business page in that. Okay, that'll exponentially explode the views on this. Now, another option is in the same neighborhood, if you have an open house or if you have buyer needs, why don't you go and you interview people that you've door knocked and you talked to? So I met Matt and his wife, Julie, and their 11-ounce, 10-pound kid. It's a heavy ass kid.
10 pound, 11 ounces. That kid's got a big head.
Well, he's your kid.
Yeah, seems about right.
But you go in and I interview with Matt. He's at the front door, and I say, Matt, thanks for taking your time to talk with me. Would you mind going on camera for maybe 30 seconds to 45 seconds and explaining just 3 things why you love the area and why you're raising your kids here? Now you can use that for upcoming listings to show buyers coming in going, oh, so what's the neighborhood like, Greg? And I said, funny you ask. I have 3 videos from actually, homeowners right around here that you might want to take a look at. Second off, if a buyer is trying to decide if they like a neighborhood, you can show them the videos and go, you know what, I was out door knocking on your behalf, and I know you guys weren't 100% sure if you like this neighborhood, you kind of like that one house, but let me show you what these people are saying about this area, about the schools, about the environment, about, the closeness to town or the quiet or whatever it is. But because people don't just buy 4 walls and a roof anymore, guys. They buy the entire experience. Now, why is Yelp so powerful? Powerful because it's third-party reviews. Now, if you get 3 reviews of a positive nature, of course, delete the negative ones if you guys get negative reviews. I hate my neighborhood. This place blows. The dogs bark, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, don't want to show that one.
Some people moved in with a parrot.
So, yeah, stupid loud-ass parrot talking all damn night. But use these reviews to leverage yourself. Post them on your Facebook page. Post them on your YouTube channel. Post them on your website. Because if you build that library up, guys, this is original content. It's going to build your SEO on your web page. It's going to build. If you post it first to your Facebook page, Facebook's going to quote unquote own it, and they're going to push that video to the top. So you're going to get more views on it. Then you put it to your YouTube channel, and you can reference back to it as a library for different marketplaces. So if you work in 5 or 6 or 10 different neighborhoods, go into those neighborhoods, get the reviews, then you can categorize them. So when they're on your YouTube or your Facebook or your web page, they can literally go, this neighborhood, this neighborhood, this neighborhood, this neighborhood, and there's 3 or so videos in there. You can add to them as you're out there more. The more you have, the more relevant there are. The more relevant you are, the more likely you are to be the man or woman of the hour to help them buy or sell their home, because you are in the trenches. That is the true value. Continue to show it, because it's like doing a phone call or doing a door knock and you leave nothing or you leave no voicemail. It's like you were never there. But if you can prove to the fact that you know what's going on, and we joke around in our team saying that we prospect a neighborhood so much that we know what some people eat for dinner on certain streets. I mean, you should literally have that type of knowledge. I'll tell you a funny story. Back in the day when I was just starting to in the business, when I was a complete screw up, if any of you kind of have been following us, you know that I was an absolute mess, screw up in my past. But my father wouldn't let me talk to any clients, so he made me door knock. And so I was doing door knock on the west side of Alamo, and there's this one street called Via Don Jose. And I love Via Don Jose. It's a great flat street, lots of trees, good for door knocking in the heat. And there was this one house, and it had big redwood trees. It had a brand new motorcycle in the front driveway. They had an X5 and a kids stuff all over in the front, plus a minivan. Now, I knew who lived there because I talked to her a couple of times. And about a couple months later, I was at an open house going to a broker's tour, and I saw her. And I walked up to her. Her name is Nikki Heyman. And Nikki, if you're watching this, what's up? She now works in title and escrow and lending and all the fun stuff here. She's another side. But I walk up to her. I'm like, hey, I know you. You live on Via Don Jose. You guys have 2 redwood trees. Your husband just bought a street bike. You guys have an X5, and you think you're selling your minivan, right? And she was just like, holy shit, are you stalking me? And she backed up from me like this. And it was just me out there doing circle prospecting and knowing the marketplace. That's what the power is for now business or medium business guys, is knowing what the people are doing.
Yeah. And I want to say a couple of things about like the social media stuff that you talked about. There's a couple cool tricks that you can do. So number one, if you want to, you can actually start by recording your video or broadcasting your video, I should say, on Periscope or Meerkat. Save it to your phone, then upload that to Facebook, then upload it separately to YouTube, or you can, obviously pay somebody else to do it. That would be, once you get to a certain level, that's not worth your time. But that is a cool way to record it, is to actually broadcast it over Periscope first. Just make sure on the back end, when you're uploading stuff to YouTube, if you want to do what Greg talked about, where you have kind of a library of content that starts drawing people to you over time without you having to like go out and get people, that's where you really kind of start to build this pipeline of long-term business. Make sure that so if you're in a neighborhood, right, start the video off on YouTube with that neighborhood name. So it goes up front in the title, goes up front in the description, goes up front in the video itself, and in the tags. That's what I'm looking for. So right up front in the tags. So basically, you want, at every level of YouTube, you want to start off with that neighborhood name. I'm doing some cool SEO stuff with neighborhood videos with Jeff Cohn, who was on our last big episode of Real Estate Uncensored. And one of the projects that we're working on is doing drive-through videos in the neighborhoods, and we're already seeing results where people are they're able to find the videos organically just by looking for information on the neighborhoods on Google, and they're serving up the videos that we put up there because they were correctly tagged. So that's the basics. You don't have to do a whole lot more than that. You can make it more complicated, but that's the essentials. Is just make sure the neighborhood name is in the name, the description, and the tag. So
if you guys can't figure that out, go find a 13-year-old. They'll do it for you.
That's right. And they'll yell at you too for being stupid. But that's
look at the old guy. Can't figure out the YouTube.
Yeah, exactly. You got to proceed it with the. It's, hey, can you help me out with the YouTube and the Facebook? All right, and then internet buyer leads. So this is part of the kind of the medium-term business, right? So I don't know if the experience turns out to be true for you. Like with Jeff Cohn, his team is about 30 agents, right? None of them are superstar, out of this world producers. It's a pretty good sample group of people that are a combination of new. They're a few years old. Some of them are experienced, some are not. Over all their years of generating thousands of internet leads, each agent takes about 30 leads a month, right? Those leads, on average, start to convert into deals at about 3 to 4 months, but the average is more like 6. So if you want true medium-term business, and just be prepared. If you're going to go buy leads, whether it's from equity, like Pierce, Greg talked about Pierce and his company, or if it's through Commissions Inc. or Real Geeks, whatever it is, if you're going to go out and do it, it's going to be about a 6-month turnaround time. At least that's what I've heard. That's in the Midwest, obviously. Greg, what do you see?
We're seeing a little bit faster here in the East Bay. I'm a part of it, of course. I buy leads as well through the system. That's why I'm talking about it. That's how we got the sponsorship. But I have active buyers right now flowing in. They have a couple of folks that have bought a home for clients in 30 days, and they've already listed the buyer's home to sell. Other people are seeing results much faster in regards to active buyers that they should put money in their pocket within 30 days, if not 60. So
yeah. Yeah, so that's, I mean, the great thing about like internet buyer leads is you can have people fall out of the sky, and just if you generate enough leads and you sort through them fast enough, you'll have people that jump, like parachute out, and they're like, oh yeah, I'm coming into town and I need to buy a house next week. I've got a job transfer. I mean, it can be a great source of now business, but on average, you have to be prepared for it to take a little bit longer than that. But man, when you get those and they're ready to go right off the bat, that's phenomenal.
Well, let me give you an example, Matt. We're talking about doing cold calls and everything else. I did a couple of cold calls, one to a guy named James and one to a guy named David. Now I said, hey, look, I'm going to come out, and this was within 7 days from last week, guys. Yeah. And they are, all right, yeah, come on out, let's talk. Now, it was very lukewarm when I went out and talked to him. Guys, as of yesterday, Dave got a hold of me. His wife saw a home over the weekend. She is on fire for this thing. It's a $1.5 million home. He is hot to trot to buy this. They have a $750,000 home they're going to sell as well. James is going to sell his home in Walnut Creek, and then he's going to go rent something and buy down the road. And you know what they did? Because I went out and I built a relationship with them, and because I did the outbounds, these are just results of just things that happen a lot faster. What is that? 4 million and change in volume in a week of just doing this stuff. And that's now and then future, because guess what? I'm going to ask for the referrals. But
well, so in the last 10 minutes that we've got, let's talk about something. I know it goes fast. Let's talk about more long-term stuff. So we've talked a lot about social media and video, and one of the side benefits to that is that it builds your brand over time, and it starts attracting people to you without you having to go out and chase them down, basically. But let's talk about some more high-touch stuff. So community involvement. Let's go over business networking, and then we'll talk a little bit about if anybody didn't catch the mini episode from Monday, man, go back and watch that. So Matt Clausen has a building and development background and still does. His dad owns a home construction company. He's an agent as well. So he did like a 15, 20-minute hangout with us about how agents can better work with developers and builders. I mean, that's really, really good long-term source of business, and it's a great relationship to build. So go back and listen to that. That's on iTunes. I think it just hit iTunes yesterday. So I wanted to get that in real quick. Yeah, so tell me about like, what are you guys doing? You said your dad's been pushing to get the team more involved in networking with businesses and building relationships with businesses. What type of businesses are you guys going after?
Sure, this is a big shout out to the Big T Diddy, which is my nickname for my dad, which he still doesn't get.
I call him the Grandmaster. He's the true Grandmaster.
He is the Grandmaster, but he always has been pushing me to, Greg, you know what you need to do? And as soon as I hear I should do this, I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that. But you know, this is just me being an idiot, all right? But this is why I'm trying to say, don't be Greg. Go out and go find probate attorneys. Go find out divorce attorneys. Go find financial planners. Go find insurance guys or gals. Go find these people that have contact with buyers and sellers way before they're going to do something with you, and get them to be your friends in your referral services. Find something that's valuable to them for the referral. Now, there's a lot of companies that you can pay $127 or something, and you can put, you know, these people like the attorneys or the CPAs or the insurance guys or gals on a cruise for 4 days for $127, and they pay like the docking fees and stuff like that. So it's very inexpensive, but it's a perceived value. Maybe a restaurant coupon. Maybe it's a night in San Francisco or another metropolis near you at a nice high-end boutique. They'll cost you maybe $300 to $500, you know, put them on the concierge level just for referring you. It is an amazingly cheap thing, and they will remember you for that. A lot of folks say, well, why am I going to network with an insurance agent or broker? Well, think about it, guys. Everyone needs to get insurance. So if someone's going to be either looking for investment properties, they're probably going to call their insurance guy and say, what are my benefits? Also, take them out door knocking or, you know, stuff like that. It's also been very effective with me. The attorneys, probate and divorce, guys. Divorce attorneys, there is going to be a separation of assets. Get ahead of the program. Get these attorneys, because they trust these attorneys to give them good advice. They pay them hundreds of dollars an hour to do so. So get in front of it. Those are some of the things that Terry's been telling me for a long time to do, and we are going to start doing. And yes, I will report back to you. I will be responsible to report back to our audience on that.
Well, you make it sound like you're not doing anything, but you've been going
Well,
out and building relationships with businesses. I mean, ever since you joined with viral marketing, we were tinkering around with ideas for videos. I had you start going out and like meeting local restaurant owners, and I mean, you're already doing that, going out
yeah,
and shooting videos with local businesses. Maybe not the probate attorneys. I would imagine they're probably not always the best on video.
about as dry as a cracker and as
Yeah,
boring as cardboard. Well, this is what goes on. You're like, oh, shoot me.
yeah, exactly. So, but you've been doing it. You just haven't
Yeah.
done it maybe in those industries. But there was something that just came into my mind, and I was not going to talk about this. And there's not. I was looking for some information, some public information about this, and she doesn't really have anything. But I caught a really, really good presentation by a gal named Sasha Farmer. She's in Charlottesville, Virginia. Her website is charlottesville365.com, and she's doing something really cool. So what she does is that, like, that's a small town in Virginia, apparently. It's not really near, it's within striking distance, I guess, of a couple of larger cities. So they do have companies that bring in people and hire people from out of town or out of state. So she decided that her team was going to be almost like an ambassador for the city. So she went to a bunch of businesses and is continually adding more to her roster, and basically said, look, when you have somebody that you're looking to come in and you want to interview and you're bringing them into town, hook them up with us. We'll give them a nice gift basket. We'll show them around town, and we will literally sell them on Charlottesville.
Wow.
So we're not going to talk about selling a house. We're not going to talk about like buying a house. We're not going to talk about real estate. We're not there to pressure them. We're literally just, we will pick them up from the airport. We will drop them off at their hotel, make sure there's a nice gift basket waiting for them, and then give them a guided tour around the city and drop them right back off. And if you have 5 people or 10 people, whatever you have in for an interview for a C-level position or some sort of high-level position, basically just let us show them around.
That's awesome. That is truly powerful. That's non-intrusive. It's value add. It doesn't take away from the business's time. Maybe even have one of the business owners at the C-level or something like that come with you, so you guys can have a cohesive front. But that's amazing stuff. I really, really like that.
Yeah, it's a great idea. I mean, she found a way to go to businesses and build value, like give something of value to them first, without any expectation, but knowing that just getting to know those people will bring in business. So,
awesome.
So that's I thought that was a really, really cool idea that I'd never heard. I'd heard of people, you build up relationships with executive recruiters and HR firms and stuff like that, but she's definitely taken it another step further. And she, one of the cool things she does, which I like a lot, is right after she meets with a business and gets their agreement to start working together in this way, right? Immediately, she's on the phone with so-and-so at her office who's ordering a delivery from Sherry's Berries that will be at that business's office by either that afternoon or the following day. She sends them champagne-dipped strawberries as like a celebration gift of their upcoming partnership.
That is awesome stuff, man. I'm literally taking notes, as you can tell. I'm like, okay, well, who am I going to partner with here? This is good.
Yeah, so it was a cool idea. So is there anything else that you want to sum up with this episode on prospecting? Any last words?
Yeah. So we've talked a lot about internet stuff, guys, but go to meetup.com. If you were looking for a new recreation or a new hobby or new pastime of something along those lines, and start getting around people that you know or you don't know, but you guys have something in common: hiking, knitting, cooking, traveling, whatever, running. Start getting involved in those groups. Start using your prospecting time and your long-term, or we would call it the long tail approach, to start building those relationships, doing activities that have nothing to do with your business, and do it whenever is available, guys. So if let's say it's noon right now during this recording, well, almost noon. What if there's something at 12:30 that I'm going to scoot out the door, go put on some running shoes and go for a run? Guys, go out and hang with these people. Chris Callen, my business partner, is an avid bike rider. He rides, we call it mobile prospecting, every Wednesday from 6 a.m. till noon or something. But it's generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for us. Terry, my father, goes swimming, generated hundreds of thousands of dollars for us in that, and just doing activities. So if a lot of this stuff may or may not have resonated with you, at least hold true to what interests you. Like, I'm a licensed skydiver, right? But there's no drop zones here in the area. I didn't know if you knew that, Matt, but I am.
I know that.
I have done many jumps, but I kind of got out of it after I hurt my knee pretty bad doing it. And I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to go splat, so let's find something that stays on the ground. So a guy came into my office last Friday. He had a whole huge thing about paintball. for $60. I bought like, I don't know, 15 days, full day passes to go to like 12 or 6 or 8 paintball ranges around the bay. All to do is pay for air and the bullets, and I'm good. And so why not go spend time doing that stuff? And that could be a great opportunity. The millennials are probably at those events. You know what I mean? If you're getting shot at and you're literally in a foxhole together, you're going to build a bond.
That's right.
Especially
Even if it's only paint bullets.
Dude, that stuff hurts, man. Have you been hit by those things? They leave freaking welts.
I haven't done that since high school, but yeah, it was fun.
But that's my last 2 cents,
That's
guys.
yours for hobbies, yeah. I was going to throw in, I mean, if you're on the older side, I hate to say older, but if you're not of the meetup.com generation, there's still chamber, young professionals organizations, BNI. One of my new clients is actually having one of the executive directors of BNI on a hangout like 2 weeks from now. Those can be really great organizations depending on how they're structured and who's running them. So those are, and just really just any kind of group that meets around some sort of either hobby or looking to grow their business in some way. And you can always form them yourself. You don't have to necessarily be someone that just comes into an existing group and tries to join in and make it work for you. You can always just form something around what you like to do and start drawing people to yourself that way. So
yeah, absolutely. That's short, medium, and long term, guys.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, with that, one final reminder, subscribe on YouTube, subscribe on iTunes and Stitcher if you prefer the audio versions. We love, for people to download and listen to the podcast on iTunes. That way you can catch it on your way into the office, get a little motivation, get some tips and tools and techniques, and then put them into practice. If you want to follow either one of us on Twitter, so Greg is at McDaniel Systems, and he personally tweets and does Periscope videos through that. If you want to follow me, and you can actually follow, this is how you follow any of the shows that I host, co-host, manage, put together, whatever, at Pursuing Results. So everything that I do kind of gets broadcast on that Twitter channel effectively. So you can keep up with all the stuff that I'm doing, and you can see some of the other clients and coaches and trainers and real estate industry leaders that I work with. So with that, I think we'll end off this episode. That was a lot of, good Lord, that was a lot of content.
That's what we do, man. We bring it, we make it rain, and we hope that everyone takes at least just 3 things, guys. Don't overwhelm yourself with the whole damn podcast. Just take 3, break them down. How am I going to implement them? Who do I need? What are my time frames? What are my costs? And then put them into action. Do the things you like. Don't do the things you're like, I kind of like it. Do the things you really like, guys, because it will be fun and it won't be work anymore.
That's true. I mean, that's kind of why we give a lot of options, is not to expect anyone to do all of it, because you can't. You pick out the ones that you think you'll enjoy the most. So a couple more things I wanted to mention at the very end is, Greg, so you're doing the kind of 30-day intense prospecting boot camp. If anybody didn't get the email about that and you're interested in kind of hanging out with Greg and doing that with him, this is a beta test, so it doesn't cost anything, but it does cost your time and your commitment. So, Greg, you're talking about, several hundred outbound phone calls a day, 5 follow-ups with people, no matter who they are, some type of follow-up with people, pop buys, reading a book a month, tracking your efforts daily, and getting together on like a weekly group call to help each other, hold each other accountable and answer questions and stuff like that. So there is a commitment level. If you want to contact Greg about getting in on that, you still can. We're going to be doing that the whole month of October. So just shoot an email to greg@mcdanielrealestatesystems.com. We've got a call on Monday with everybody that has already expressed interest in wanting to join that program with Greg this month. We're going to be getting everybody on a Google Hangout just like this, where we can all see each other. So email Greg if you're interested in that. He'll send you a little questionnaire that you can fill out and let us know how interested you are. And then prime seller leads and equity. If you're interested in generating buyer or seller leads, again, reach out to Greg at McDanielRealEstateSystems.com. He'll hook you up with the right people depending on whether you want to do seller or buyer, and help you take the next steps there. So,
yeah, man. I look forward to hearing from you guys, and thank you so much, Matt. And I truly appreciate every single person that listens to this or watches this. We do it for you guys. Keep bringing the questions. We are here to serve you, and we look forward to seeing you on the next one.
All right, guys. Take care.
See ya.